So I am a senior scientist in Amazon working on building multi-agent framework for automating SOPs. So it's complex industrial SOPs, which is beyond simple tasks. Is it better now? Yeah. So, the SOPs are something that human associates follow. They're written by humans for humans, not really meant for machines to comprehend. That's where the additional challenge comes in when we are trying to automate them using multi-agent systems. So they are much more ambiguous, open to interpretation. There is a lot of reasoning going on, diverse tool calling, and then also interaction of multiple agents. So I'll give you an example. So in the shipping industry, it's classifying a product, whether it's dangerous or how hazardous it is. It's a very common problem. So they have to, so associates who make this determination, and not everything can be actually done by ML models. So you need human associates looking at different like safety data sheets or other multiple different data sources and actually making a decision and then classifying it. So how would an agent accomplish something similar, right? So it seems simple for humans. Humans have been doing it for a while, but when you try to have like an agent or multiple agents follow that same set of instructions, there are many nuanced reasoning, and like you have to call the tool, multiple tools with precise parameters and interpret the values. Sometimes some APIs may fail. You still have to orchestrate the whole workflow, right? So that's like from an agent perspective. What about the developer? Like there are many decisions the developer has to make, right? So we need to know whether it's just a simple function calling agent or is it going to be a multi-agent framework, reasoning between steps, how much of it should be in the context, how much of the background knowledge of that org or of that of the documents should be put in a knowledge base. And then the reliability. A lot of the speakers before me have mentioned the costs as a big factor. That how do you make these decisions? That what's more important for that use case? Accuracy, reliability, cost, latency, etc. So there are lots of decisions that a developer needs to make. So where do you make those decisions before you actually deploy your multi-agent system to automate complex industry tasks, right? So we couldn't find benchmarks that were readily available. So the ones that are currently very popular are like Gorilla benchmarks, GAIA examples. There are lots of results on these, and LLMs seem to be doing well on these, but the same agent framework in these examples didn't really help with comprehending and automating complex SOPs. So we ended up building a benchmark of our own. So we have this is available on archive. We'll be posting on GitHub soon. This is a benchmark of like 10 different industry use cases, like starting from customer support, aviation, retail, even healthcare. So we've created SOPs, like long instructions, along with the tool APIs and the code, like a mock. Like the code is obviously a mock of the real APIs, and also data sets. And at every stage, we have had human intervention, like human validation, like a scientist validating the code, the industry experts validating the SOP and the APIs, and the data sets. So it's like so for a dangerous good use case, you actually have the data set, which has the input and output of every API call, what you expect. So you have the safety data sheet, there are the handling and storage restrictions, etc. So it turns out like building the SOPs was not straightforward at all. It was like a very hierarchical and complex way of prompting and creating these different aspects, like SOP as well as APIs and data sets. So an evaluation is like much beyond pass and fail. So here, like I'll give an example. So we we want to make sure that it goes through the whole execution workflow. So we tried only two paradigms so far, like React and function calling. And as you can see, on an average, it gets 35%, like 70%. 70% actually like ends successfully executes, and only 35% of them actually have correct answer. So so it's like we have a long way to go before we can actually reach the 95, 97% of human level accuracy. So it turns out synthetic data is powerful. So we want to try out these different agentic applications and improvements before we actually go and test out on real production data sets. And so the key thing is that before automating something with multi-agent systems, there are lots of decisions we need to make. And we need to build realistic benchmarks where we can, we can feel confident on those before moving to like shadow and production. So we invite people to, we also have the benchmark generation code available, so people can build benchmarks, add to SOP bench, so the community can actually keep growing. That's it. Thank you.